let me say a special good morning to our listeners and viewers of Classic Radio and those of you, the viewers of GBN TV. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of To The Point. I'm your host, GT. I'll be around with you until it's 10 a.m. this morning on today's program. Hey, folks, it's Opposition Tuesday, but usually there's no one representing for the opposition on today's program, which leaves us to drive directly into an open line edition this morning. You, the listeners, the viewers out there, the opportunity is extended to you to, of course, give me that call. 435-2041, 435-2041. Double the options, as I will always say, the Facebook, my apology, the WhatsApp and the direct line. You can call me via the number 435-2041. Let's hear from you this morning. Express your views, your concerns, of course, issues that you may think that you want to bring to the fore. Feel free to do it in today's edition of To The Point, that open line edition for you, 435-2041. I beg of you callers, when you, of course, making your presentation, be brief so we can accommodate as much. I know sometimes you do have lots that you want to say, but of course it's limited time. We just have an hour, so I beg of you to limit on your time in terms of what you have to say, and of course so we can accommodate as much callers as possible. So the lines are opened once again, 435-2041. Let's get the ball rolling. We do have a first caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Morning, GT. Morning to your listeners and your viewers.
Good morning to you, sir.
It's always a very pleasure to have the opportunity to be on an open line. To continue where I was left off this morning, and in response to a particular caller, not that his reaction to me, but the fact that it is clear that the reason why the United States have claimed that they need to come in the Caribbean with all that armory, including nuclear armory, it really doesn't hold its weight. It's the same excuse that was similar, just different narrative that was used to invade Iraq, to invade Libya, to invade Panama, Grenada, and all the other countries the U.S. have invaded. Always came to vulgar reason. The thing about it is that there are some similarities with the past, particularly Grenada, where, unfortunately, a woman is leading in assisting the Americans. In the case of Grenada, Eugenia Charles, and it was proven by Bob Woodward, the same guy who broke the Watergate scandal, showed that Eugenia Charles and others were paid $100,000 to support, $100,000 US to support to facilitate the invasion of Grenada. And subsequently, George Compton, the late, had told the U.S. later on, look, you should not be trying to destroy or ban or preferential treatment to your companies and them, United Foods and whoever, the DuPont and so on. Because we assisted you. We supported you in invading Grenada. The Prime Minister at the time of Grenada, his response at the time was, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to go and plant marijuana? So the thing about it is known that the U.S. has fabricated reason for its activity, including the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They knew the war was ended. It's just the problem was that with the decision by the Japanese, what the status of the emperor was. But they had to test their new weapons, and they went and created onslaught. GT, I wouldn't want to upset you, so I will end, and depending on the nature of the program, I will call back. Thank you.
Appreciate your call as always, call. Have a good one. 435-2041, 435. We have an open line this morning here on today's edition of To The Point. We go back to the phone line. Let's see who is the caller we have online next. Caller, you're live. Good morning, welcome. I think I didn't engage that caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes. I welcome the American leader. Whatever one say, I welcome, because Kuda and them have their own agenda to make this place what they call their own. right? Dictatorship. And for this fella saying that, I welcome his views, but I welcome the American. I would have fight with the American against colorism and selling strong on them. I would have given my life to fight for my president. So what he's saying there, I don't disagree with the views, but I would have.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 435-2041. We have an open line this morning. The opportunity is extended to your listeners and viewers. Of course, let's hear from you in terms of your views, your concerns. Let's hear about it this morning. Let's go back to the phone line. We do have another caller. Caller, your life. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, JT, how are you going, man?
Doing great. How are you doing this morning?
It couldn't be better, man.
Happy to hear that.
Yeah. I am not a supporter of Morris Bishop. Everybody knows that by now because people call Morris Bishop a prime minister, but he never took an oath, so he's not a prime minister, right? But I don't support the intervention of somebody's country because Grenada is a sovereign country. Let the people solve their problem for themselves. Don't land on my shores. You know that I am weak. I can't do. There's no power that I could take with the United States. There's no way I could win you. Don't interfere into my country, land on my shores on the guise of intervention and kill people. I condemn the intervention. My support on Morris Bishop, everybody knows that I'm not supporting him, but I can't support the intervention of any country. It is wrong. Anyway, what I want to say, last week I was advertising the divers and fishermen of Cadiz. They had an official ceremony, a celebration of the fisherman's birthday, and I was advertising that last week on this program. And I just wasn't happy to say that it came up on Saturday, the 30th. In the Cadiz Government School. And I want to thank first of all, I want to thank you, JT, for giving me the opportunity to advertise it and to speak about it. So you
should have a bill in the mail, right?
Yes. And also to all the people that contributed to the success of the program, of the event. It came off well. As a matter of fact, JT, it finished 1 o'clock in the morning. There's a song, it was a great night. There's a song, Oh, What a Night. Great December back in 63. Well, it was a great night on the 30th. And everybody came. It was a good interaction. And I want to publicly thank on behalf of the divers and the fishermen of Cadiz in the constituency of South St. George and all those who participated. I really, really want to thank you because without you, JT and others, these two factors, the advertisement people that you allow me to say it on your program, and the people who participated, we couldn't do it. They couldn't do it without these two factors. Okay. And I want to place on record to the people that attended Saturday. Thank you. And next year, when we have another fisherman celebration, I'm looking forward to seeing you all again with that same support. So thank you, JT. And
you too. Thank you. Have a good morning. Thank you so much. We do have another caller via WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, you're welcome. Good morning. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Go right ahead, please.
Yes, I am a citizen of Grenada, Carriacou, the sister island. And this is my history making in respect to Grenada seeking total independence from England. And Maurice Rupert Bishop, who was murdered in 1983, is a subject discussion for example, Memorial Day in the United States of America. America wants to memorialize every criminal president, including the so-called founding fathers of the United States, Johnson, Washington, and what have you. Now, Maurice Rupert Bishop is an ally of Cuba. And Cuba, right now, Israel and America is the only two nations that did not lift the embargo on Cuba. And Cuba has helped Grenada elevate from even not having lights in 1981. The island of Carriacou, Leste, Carriacou, did not have lights because Eric Gary, who after Maurice Bishop was murdered, he seek asylum here in the United States. And just like Papa Doc and John Duvalier, those men, Haiti is now in mayhem, wherein gangs are controlling Haiti. Haiti was the first Caribbean islands that kicked out the French. And ever since that happened, America has not been very favorable to Haiti, likewise the island of Grenada. Now, Cuba even gave America, a blight, for lack of a better word, for Cuba to teach the people dentistry, and as a courtesy to give back to Cuba, they had to perform services for Cuba. Now, America and American sports athletes, some of them even used to leave America, surgeons and dentistry, to go to Cuba for dentistry. Now, Dr. Ram is a household name in the Caribbean. Dr. Ram used to come to Carriacou and all the Caribbean islands, Union Islands, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, America wants to deport even their own citizens. I am an migrant from Carriacou. I've been in this country since 1981, and I am a victim of police brutality here in the United States of America. And Donald Trump is on a rampage deporting everyone that is so-called a migrant. So now, in 2019, former Mayor Mr. Michael Bloomberg had an initiative to send any homeless persons, which I am a homeless man as I speak to you, and I was to be sent home since 2019. That there has been a conspiracy to keep me here as a Hebrew Israelite. Now, the Hebrew Israelite nation brothers, that Bishop Nathaniel Allah, Bishop Nate, who was a former detective from the New York City Police Department, he has even received death threats as a police detective. I received third grade detective, and he has been receiving death threats from his own constituents, being that he chose to serve Jesus Christ, aka Yahushua Mashiach. That's Christ's biblical name. Now, Christ died for the entire nation, and he's the savior of the world. I am a Hebrew Israelite by nationality, because we talk in Bible, right? In the book of Amos, chapter 3, of all the families of the earth, ye only have I known. Now, Grenada, we pray. Many of the talk shows in the United States, including all those podcasts, they don't pray. They don't believe in prayer. America is hiding under democracy. Democracy is actually capitalism disguised.
Caller, I know I appreciate your contribution, but I'm going to give you another 10 seconds to wrap, please.
All right. So now, being that Grenada needs to be exempt from England, because in 1974 we gained independence from England. So now we are independent, but we have the Queen of England money on our monies, just like all the Caribbean islands, including Jamaica and the Grenadines. So America is a hypocrisy with Donald Trump deporting migrants of his own people. And I am supposed to be in Grenada, and they want to keep me here as a prophet to tell them about the UFO. So I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Appreciate your contribution also. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. We lost that caller there, and by losing that particular caller, we drew for a break. So let's take it. And when we return, more of your calls when we return. Stay with us, folks, to The Point Classic Radio, GBN TV.
Are you ready to take charge of your money, build wealth, and protect your family's legacy? Then join us on October 9th, 2025 at Radisson Grenada Beach Resort for your Financial Future 2.0 Legacy, Literacy, and Liberation, a one-day financial summit designed to break cycles, build wealth, and leave a lasting legacy. You'll gain real-life budgeting hacks, a money mindset reboot, steps to create generational wealth, and practical tips on investing, estate planning, insurance, health, and business finance, all from expert speakers who know how to turn knowledge into action. With 2 inspirational keynotes, 3 powerful panel discussions, and 6 breakout sessions, you will leave with your personalized action plan for success. Don't wait. Secure your seat today. Tickets are EC $350 at disruptiveleadershipconference.com/YFF. Your Financial Future 2.0. Your next chapter starts here.
Grenlec Community Partnership Initiative.
On behalf of the Ministry of Carriacou and PT Martinique Affairs and Local Government, and by extension the Government of Grenada, we would like to say a heartfelt thank you to the Grenada Electricity Company, Grenlec, for coming on board with us to partner for the Build Back Better initiative by providing furnishings for the homes. And furnishings include beds, mattresses, and other things, and we want to say that it has positively impacted the residents of those homes who have already benefited, and for those who will benefit, we know that it will positively impact their lives as we work together to recover Carriacou and PT Martinique.
Energizing our community.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point, Classic Radio GBN TV. We have an open line edition for today's program. Listeners and viewers, you have the option of calling, expressing your views and your concerns. Before we move on, I want to express to listeners and viewers, please, I offer the opportunity for you to call in. Yes, as I said, express your views and concern, but have it done in a timely manner, please. I'm getting issues where folks, I'm feeling I'm being a bit too, I know sometimes folks think I'm being a bit too lenient with individuals, so you talk, but I don't think it's necessary for you to talk for the 5, 6, 7 minutes on the program. Of course, I know sometimes you do have a lot to say, so I beg of you to be brief. I don't want to implement a time factor in which I tell you talk for 2 minutes and wrap. I'm very lenient at times, but please don't abuse it to the limit where I have to tell you that you have to wrap up. All right, so please be very brief in your contribution so we could accommodate lots of calls, or more calls, or many calls as possible on the program. Let's go back to the phone line. 435-2041. 435. I think we lost that caller. 435-2041. You have double options of calling once again via the WhatsApp and also the direct line 435-2041. You prefer to send a message via the WhatsApp. You also have that option of doing that also. You can send a message via the WhatsApp, which I certainly will read out also. Let's go back to the phone line. We have a WhatsApp caller. You're live caller. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, JT.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Good.
Let's hear from you.
JT,
caller, you're live, and I think you have some device playing in the background that is, of course, distracting you, and the listeners also. Have it turned off, please.
JT, I hear people saying that they want America fall. But JT, America is the biggest protector at this part of the world, the Western Hemisphere. And if they fall, I don't know what them will come. When they come, what they go do. Remember Hitler trying to make us slave? We don't know what China and them country will do when they take power. We might become slave in the country. Jetty, I listened to this, the former Prime Minister. He's saying to the world that he leaves $500 million in trade. Can you imagine that? Jetty, the pensioners banging the street, demonstrating for the money, and he have $500 million there, and he refused to pay them the pension. Instead, why he take $2 million and pay some $3 million to fight the pensioners in this country, and you tell me this man and them good $500 million there, you know. The pensioners dying on the street for money, and he refused to pay them. So, JT, you have a good day.
You too, caller. Have a good one yourself. 435-2041, 435, and do appreciate your call. 435-2041. The lines are open, both the WhatsApp and the direct line this morning. Let's hear from you, your views, your concerns. We certainly would like to hear from. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you are live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford.
Good morning to you, sir.
And a pleasant morning to your listening audience. Mr. Telesford, we are not saying that America have to fall. America have to fall. And when they fall, they will not be falling on the bottom. They will not be falling on the back. They have to fall on the face. And Mr. Donald Trump is the man to lay the foundation. America is a dying empire. And dying empire can become quite dangerous and outrageous. We have to be careful. The resources that they have placed around Venezuela goes beyond the cartel and drug trafficking. Let's see what's happened. Mr. Telesford, starting from the mid-80s, when I listened to the talking points on CNN, Fox, and the rest, they was talking about China in 2040, 2050. Not being competitive with America, but being, having some kind of authority, so to speak. Today, we are in 2025. Welcome to China in 2025. No other country in the world have done more for the people and humanity than China, which is a communist country. So if a communist country can do all of that for its people, Mr. Telesford, I want to know what is so wrong about the system. Listen to this quickly, Mr. Telesford. Our birth rate in Grenada keeps declining, but the population keeps increasing. Where are these people coming from? Well, welcome to the IME. Before they used to call it the CBI, Citizen by Investment. And we had an idea what that meant. But today, Mr. Telesford, it is called the IMA, Immigration Migration Agency. Does that sound like the CBI to you? Does that sound like something where we are selling our passports, our birthright, and our patrimony, just like Scholar said, for all these people? And in reality, we cannot see the investment here in terms of what the initial program was intended for. Have a pleasant day, sir.
You too, sir. Have a good one. Appreciate your call. 435-2041, 435-2041. Open line edition up to the point for today, folks. Listeners and viewers, we're moving down to 24 minutes after the hour this morning. Let's hear from you if you do have, of course, a particular concern that you'd like to bring to the fore this morning. What's happening in your community? And you're probably saying, hey, there's someone who is doing some outstanding work within the community, helping the younger individual and so forth, and you want to bring that to the fore. Feel free to do that.
Yeah.
Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
On behalf of the senior and disabled, right, I'd like the Parliament and the ministers to take into consideration when this hydrocarbon signed by Trinidad recently, because this has been done several times before, be transparent in their ways with their monies and advocate some money towards, shares towards the whole nation, to the whole citizens of Grenada. Sell shares, open it up to the citizens, and give some shares to the disabled and the seniors. I think the ministers should consider their family, their elders on that point. Food security, that's number one. Transportation towards the seniors and the disabled. Have a great day.
Thank you, caller. Appreciate your call. We do have another caller via the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, you're live. Good morning. Let's hear from you.
Morning.
Morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, man.
How was Canada this morning?
Oh, Canada, weather is nice.
All right, man. All right. Yeah. Let's hear your contribution.
Yeah. I want to make two quick points. Now, I listened to our caller with the heavy, rough voice like mine, talking about China is a communist country. I think he romanticizing too much on communism. China is not a communist country. There are only one communist country perhaps in the world right now, maybe North Korea. China has a government known as a communist party. But China is a capitalist country, but the capitalism is different from Western capitalism. So this Grenadian brotherhood dreaming about communism, and China take over the world. China has its own model of capitalism. In the terms of saying America is a dying empire, I don't think America is a dying empire. America might have to change its policy and stop being too capitalistic, but it wouldn't die. Countries with modern technology will always survive. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, caller. Appreciate your call. Appreciate your contribution on today's program. 445-2041. The lines are open once again. 27 minutes going after the hour. We're here till it's 10 a.m. this morning. And the opportunity is granted to listeners and viewers out there. You want to make a contribution to today's program, you feel free to do so. Let's go to the WhatsApp, and there's someone is posting a message via the WhatsApp. They're saying, good morning. I do not think it's right to accuse Eugenia Charles of taking a bribe to support the invasion of Grenada or the intervention of Grenada. After the death of Maurice Bishop and the others, all of CARICOM had a most genuine concern for what's happening in Grenada, and it was not okay. And it was not okay with most, and no one should lie about Eugenia Charles. And that's coming from an individual by the name of Heather. Heather is sending out her contribution there via WhatsApp. 435-2041. Let's get the calls rolling once again. And the lines are open to you. Of course, if you do have a concern this morning that you would like to raise, feel free to do so via the WhatsApp or the direct line. You prefer to post a message via the WhatsApp, feel free to do that also. I will read it out via the WhatsApp, or you can call in 435-2041. As I mentioned before, there's probably something happening in your community that you may want to, of course, speak about this morning. Feel free to do that also on today's program. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome. Caller, and you have a device that seems to be too loud in the background. Please, I beg of you to take it out.
That's better?
100%. Let's go.
Sorry about that. You there?
Yes, let's go, caller. You're live.
Right. No, so if I have a country, okay, if I govern a country or one governor country, right? And they are governing, okay, how they see it fit them, implement whatever measure they want to implement. You run it how they want it. What that has to do with anything like communist or socialist or capitalist or whatever. I don't think that have nothing to do with any of these things with them. But you see, in modern times, anything you do, you have to find a name for it. Anything you have to find a name for it. Right? The thing about it is because before these things were implemented, right? People used to do things, right? People used to do things in their own particular way or to a certain standard, and there was nothing about no capitalist and no socialist or communist or whatever. But then again, that's how it is, right? The next thing is last night, right? So yeah, I was listening to Mr. Rogers, right? I'm trying to sensitize people, the nation, about the Constitution and the laws of Grenada and the Constitution or whatever. And he made a point about educating people and sensitizing people, right, about the Constitution and the laws and referendum or whatever. But my thing is, what has the government done over the years, right? Maybe the present or the previous in really educating and sensitizing people on these things. Has it done a fairly alright job, a fairly okay job in educating and sensitizing the people concerning these things, and then they come with the to vote on
they come with the thing about referendum, right? And for people to vote on these things. Sir, tell me, with the ordinary man in the street as me and others, I mean, how much the ordinary man in the street really know about these things? I mean, let us be frank and plain and raw here, right? How much the man in the street, the ordinary people really know about bills and referendum and voting on these things, right? And these people, they know that the public is not aware of these things. They know it's no guesswork. They know. So they come to the people with it, to vote. So when the people reject it now, right? Because the people doesn't know, because they really hadn't sensitized and educated the people concerning these things over the years, right? So when the people reject it now, they will have excuse. The authorities will have excuse to say, oh, well, we come to the people and the people reject it, so you can't blame us. It's the people and all this kind of nonsense. You hear? So all this is what it is. So they mustn't come to the people and make it seem that the people is the people that reject it, and it's not we, the authorities, and blah blah blah. No. Anyway, thanks.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. 435-2041. We due for a second break in the program for today. Let's take it when we come back. More of your calls. Stay with us. To the Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. To the Point. We'll be right back.
Stumps ready? The biggest party in sports is back. It's Republic Bank CPL 2025. Bowls off August 14th to September 21st. 34 matches, 6 teams, 6 nations. Pure Caribbean cricket frenzy. From big sixes to deadly yorkers, catch every boundary, every wicket, every moment. Live on GBN TV and Classic Radio. This is not just cricket. This is CPL 2025. Don't miss a ball.
GBN's broadcast of CPL 2025 is made possible by Republic Bank, Hubbards, Glen, Echo Blue Limited, Demerara Mutual Life, Answer Coatings, and Flow.
On Sunday, November the 9th from 5 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center, Legends Promotion presents the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert featuring the best of Grenada, along with 2 special guest artists. This edition promises to be extra special. Get ready, Grenada, to be blown with surprises at the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert, Sunday, November the 9th, 5 p.m. Grenada Trade Center. Stay tuned to GBN for more.
Coming up, all the major players were in town for Carib Festa 15, along with the top entertainers, artists, and more. The essence and beauty of African culture on full display at emancipation celebrations in Trinidad and Tobago. Important for centuries, still attracting attention today. Welcome to Havana. It's all next on this station.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. It's To The Point. We have an open line edition for today, Tuesday. It's the second today of September 2025. 25 minutes moving up before the 10 o'clock hour. This morning, the lines are open once again, 435-2041. If you wish to call me via the WhatsApp or the direct line, 435-2041. You prefer to send a message via the WhatsApp, feel free to do that also. And see someone with a message via the WhatsApp, and they're saying, is there any, they're asking the question, I should say, is there any development on the gas and oil exploration in Grenada? That's the question they're asking. They're saying, I saw the PM of Grenada with the Trinidad's prime PM, and also they're saying to the gentleman that asking about a referendum, he's saying there are 2 more years for educating the public on the issue. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, GD.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Excellent, wonderful, and good morning to you listening. But on Facebook. You don't have your views on Facebook today? You're not live?
It should be. I don't have, of course, access to watch it right now, but it should be live also. It should be.
And I try on the page and nothing there.
Okay.
So I want to just comment a bit on maintenance of government buildings.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, the Guav Medical Center, the building, the Chinese.
Yes.
If you look at that building, it's very moldy, and it didn't build too long ago. So the whole building needs painting and washing or whatever. Okay, looking rundown, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I would stress on government need to maintain public buildings. I don't know if they could implement a crew, a maintenance crew, going around painting, doing plumbing and all these things to maintain our buildings. Because at the end of the day, costing us more in the long run to repair. For instance, I called Shaggy this morning and mentioned about the stadium, for instance. Did you know the cricket stadium was built for 2007 World Cup, yeah? And that building, if my memory serves me right, they never had maintained it. They had to close it down. We couldn't have carnival shows, we couldn't have cricket, we couldn't have nothing there for, I can't remember the amount of years, but maybe 2 years they do some work recent of the Chinese, and now we get to have carnival there. All these things could be avoided if we follow. You understand the point?
I'm getting your point, yes.
So that's a problem government been having over the years, maintaining building. That's why we have to go repairing Grenville Police Station, renting other building costing us more, and it's our taxpayers' money that paying for those rents. So we need to do a little better in terms of maintaining government buildings. That's what I want to say.
Thank you. Appreciate your call. And let's take a message from someone via the WhatsApp. And they're saying good morning. And they all seem to put JT, but it's actually GT. I am messaging you from Carriacou. It's a serious situation in Carriacou. Here that there's no public toilet since after burial. And they're asking the minister to check on that, please. So folks could probably look into that. And let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you are live. Good morning and welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, caller. You're live. Go right ahead with your contribution, please.
Hello?
Caller, you're live. Good morning. Caller, good morning. You're live. Caller, good morning. Guess the caller probably has an issue on their part. All my systems here is a go. 435-2041, 435-2041. We go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford, and how are you?
Doing great. How are you this morning?
I am good. I am calling because I have a very grave concern.
Yes,
I live in the parish of St. David's, and St. David's is a huge area, and we're called Virgin Parish.
Yes.
And it seems as though we're really Virgin Parish. You know, when you look at it, all the other parishes have fire trucks. St. David's is hugely populated. We have a brand new fire hall, which is located right next to the St. David's police station. And we have no truck. In the event of a fire, we solely depend on the truck coming from the Carenage or Grenville. And this is, you know, we have 2 hotels in St. David's. We have people living as close to the beach and as far up in the mountains. And yet, if there is a fire, we have to depend on St. George fire truck coming into St. David's or St. Andrew fire truck coming into St. David's. And what is the fire hall doing? It's like a garage for other vehicles right now. You know, the old medical station that's located at the back of the police station was also retrofitted for fire persons, you know, persons working in fire department to live. So I don't know what's happening. I think something should be done. We need something happening in St. David's because that station was, that fire hall was completed since before the last election. We need a fire truck in St. David's. We desperately need a fire truck in St. David's. That's my take this morning.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for expressing your concern this morning, and I certainly hope the authorities are listening, and probably, a fire truck could be bought to St. David's. Let's go back to the phone line. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
You know, sometimes you hear people say a lot of things, and sometimes I'm laughing because you will hear people say they leave a lot of millions of dollars in the treasury. And you know what amazes me? Since the government come into power, police station being repaired, the ministerial complex being repaired, a lot of police stations, so much work in community centers have been done and repairs. Even right as we speak, so many repairs have been done by this government for the short period of time they've been in power. It's amazing. So when you're talking about work done and you're talking about vision, it therefore means that the former administration had no plans. And repairs takes up a lot of money. So if you have money put down there and it's there, and you're not using it for the benefits of the people, the more long you'll take to do repairs, it's only obvious it will cost much more. So monies are being spent in areas that need it. For example, people as police, the places and the way they stay and where they serve and where they work need to be repaired, so you will have them doing proper work. You had cases in some of the ministries where people were sick because of certain things that was not repaired over the years. And this is what you call lack of vision. So if you're thinking about people, you're thinking about work, and you're thinking about preserving the life of your workers so they can be in an environment to even improve the economy of the country. So we have to give kudos to the government, and we have to say enough respect every time and all the time to the leadership of Deacon Mitchell and his team. And let's keep on praying for them. 3 years, 1, 2, 3, the amount of work which are done by Deacon Mitchell and his administration for 3 years is astronomical, and we should give thanks and praise for that, and just keep on praying for them to keep going in the right direction. Have a good day.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. And another comment here via the WhatsApp. Someone is saying, good morning, GT. The government is not even maintaining the speed bumps. Do you expect them to maintain their buildings? 435-2041, 435-2041. 17 minutes on the upswing before 10 o'clock this morning, 17 minutes before we say goodbye for today's edition of To The Point. It's an open line this morning for you listeners, you viewers out there, the opportunity to call in and share your views and concerns this morning. Sometimes I might throw the option out. Let's hear what's happening on a positive note within your community, and sometimes we don't give it at all. Is it that we're not paying attention to what's taking place in our community, or sometimes it's limited contribution towards that? We seem to have a heavy focus on what's happening in the international world out there, more than what's happening in our neck of the woods, especially things of a positive nature. I would certainly love to hear individuals calling and talk about there's a particular individual in a community that is making positive strides towards the community, and sometimes we hear limited conversation in reference to that. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as you said, I'm grateful for our nation. I'm thankful for America, because more than half Grenadians must be living in America. And I'm grateful for the work that is going on in the country right now. I see the people on Morris Bishop Highway dig some train and to put on some pipes yesterday. I said, God, I thank you for these young men and women, the way they pushed that work yesterday. They dig up the drain. Let us be thankful and pray for our nation. And I thank God for America. The whole world and the earth belongs to God. Let us pray one for each other and stop criticizing. A lot is going on. In Jesus' name.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Appreciate your contribution this morning. 435-2041, 435. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you are live. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, GT. How are you, sir, today?
Doing great. What about you?
Yeah. Fine, sir. One more time. over the Spiceland Mall, the little houses that coming on the other side there, are calling again that they should do something about those houses. When you look on top of the hill there, they're already in the back. On the other side, there's a big flat area over there, and there's a little town on the top of the hill up there. A lot of other houses up there. Some guys say they have 4,000 square feet, 3,000 square feet. I don't know how they build houses.
So what's primarily is the issue that you are having with the houses up there, sir?
Because they're coming down over, and those little houses, they're coming down over those big buildings on the other side there. And one time a lady gets her hand cut beside them area there. You don't have to be one of them from there, but that's what they said, and so on. So they have to stop it from coming down. You understand? They're on the other side already. Why are they allowing them to come down over Spiceland Mall and the hotels on the other side there?
When you say they are coming down, you're talking about actually where the houses are located?
That part of the hill there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, building houses. If you pass anytime, you go see on top of the hill there.
I know exactly what you're talking about, sir, but I'm just curious in terms of what is that main issue or concern that you have in relation to that?
Oh, yeah, because, they're spoiling the area then. They're making the area look bad. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. They're making the area look bad.
All right.
If they could build a nice house up there, build a nice house, but not this little thing you put it building coming down that area there, and then you're going talking about tourism. The people looks at that when they come in. They looks at those kind of things.
Understand.
And another thing again, I'm hoping that when they finish that road and they run the pipe straight to St. George, they're gonna put back bus stops. Plain bus stops and put back bus stops. Let's get things together, because the amount of traffic we have on the road now, and the bus is stopping anyway in the middle of the road because they're stopping, they don't want the other bus pass, and they're holding up a whole set of traffic. Just because they don't want the next vehicle to pass, because they want, hoping that they'll get everybody in front of them. So I hope when they finish that road and they pave it back, I hope they're going to put back bus stops. Build bus stops or just mark bus stops. So to ease the traffic in the morning and in the evening, because the traffic is really terrible. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Appreciate your call also. We have, of course, a message on the WhatsApp, and I want to say, in GT, I'm concerned about the road network repairs in Grenada. We need to get the Chinese to build the roads in Grenada, since they are serious about laborers and not scammers as our local people. This road in Woodland should have been done and built efficiently. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you are live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, morning to the listening public also. I just want to highlight a situation that it would have been in the news and for social media recently regarding the issues of boulders in South Granmore Beach. Right? I just want to say that there were discussions. There was a plan this morning to have protest action. But that would have been postponed due to the fact that we were able to have a meeting with the management of the company, and a resolution was reached whereby the boulders would be removed within a period of time on that Granmore Beach. I just want to say kudos to the team that started the protest action. The organized community members sent out letters, notifications, asking for assistance, asking for solidarity with getting those stones moved, because it's a treasure to the community. It's something, and not just to the community, I would say, to Grenada on a whole. Not just Granmore people use that beach. I think from wide and far people come and they enjoy the ambience, the quietness, the rejuvenation of bathing on the beach. Again, I just want to take kudos to the organizing committee of getting action and having things.
If I could ask you, I'm assuming you are a resident of Granmore, right, or the surrounding areas there. The real issue with what has taken place there, what was really the more of the concern? Is it the manner in which it was done, or just basically the bowlers on the beach were just not happy about that? Is it both? Mm-hmm.
There was no consultation with the community regarding the placement of the bowlers on the beach. Yeah. There was not impact assessment done really to see how it would affect the community, how it would affect the residents, how it would affect the beach on our whole. And then secondly, it's a place where I can tell you I grew up on that beach.
All right.
The experiences that I have had on that beach, and like Extension, everybody else in the community and outside the community, is things that we treasure, and we want that for our generations to come.
You know, so and especially nowadays when we see kids now spend a lot of time behind the screen as opposed to being outside. You know, and if we don't have the beach spaces, if we don't have the public spaces, then it's behind the screen.
Yeah, so true. But there's conversation from of course, the particular company that is saying that they were protecting their property. You understand? They're protecting their property. I mean, individuals on the whole have a right to protect their property. I hope you don't make me feel I'm taking for the company in a way. But they're protecting their property. So I guess it was done in that particular way. They were granted the permission from the planning and so forth. I've been listening in the conversation in the background, but just that you folks in the community are saying there's a manner in terms of how you do things.
Correct, is right.
Primarily what you're saying.
So simply look at it this way. We're not against them protecting their property. But in protecting your property, you're inconveniencing other persons. And there are other ways that you could have protected your property without inconveniencing other persons. And that is where the issue came in. We got to the resolution, and they're going to remove the stones. It does not affect their property. Sometimes we just look at things that we have tested. Say probably, okay, it might be best to use it without having the discussion. And when we don't have the discussions with the other entities or the people involved or who would be affected, we do things that end up affecting people. You understand? Okay. So that is why inclusion is important. That is why the conversation should have been with the community and the people who would have been affected.
Right.
And they would not have to go through all this.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Yes. And I certainly hope that we have a speedy. There's been some, of course, conversation, and certainly hope that in the upcoming week or so we have some here. We get a return call saying that the problem has been resolved to a point.
That's right, and we look forward to it.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, folks, we do for a break. Let's take that break. When we come back, we certainly will, of course, continue with today's program. Stay with us. Don't touch it out.
Grenlec Community Partnership Initiative.
On behalf of the Ministry of Carriacou and PT Martinic Affairs and local government, and by extension the government of Grenada, we would like to say a heartfelt thank you to the Grenada Electricity Company, Grenlec, for coming on board with us to partner for the Build Back Better initiative by providing furnishings for the homes. And furnishings include beds, mattresses and other things, and we want to say that it has positively impacted the residents of those homes who have already benefited, and for those who will benefit, we know that it will positively impact their lives as we work together to recover Carriacou and PT Martinic.
Grenlec, energizing our community.
On Sunday, November the 9th from 5 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center, Legends Promotion presents the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert featuring the best of Grenada, along with 2 special guest artists. This edition promises to be extra special. Get ready, Grenada, to be blown with surprises at the 19th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert, Sunday, November the 9th, 5 p.m. Grenada Trade Center. Stay tuned to GBN for more. Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. We're into the final segment of today's program. Just approximately 5 minutes left before we wrap for today. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Yes, GT. The thing about it is, if we don't know history, if we don't study history, we are bound to continue sounding ignorant. and anybody knows the history of the United States, cannot say, God bless America. The treatment of our people that look like us, indigenous people, cries out from the graves, from the ocean. How could we say God bless us? So we have institutionalized this God bless thing too, giving them a whole holiday for killing our people. So that's one part of it. In the case of the beaches and so on, I think the recent situation should give rise to a greater conversation on the future of our beaches. In the past, there are those who encourage their supporters to mind the beach and ridicule those who were trying to defend the beach. We cannot pretend. There was a situation in Ontario, which I grew up to know. A certain parliamentary representative bought this SSU to subdue the people of Ontario and say, well, you have to give way. Development has to be given. Sometimes you have to lose in order to gain. And the people of Ontario only had one little beach. And to facilitate the developer CCC at the time, they destroyed the beach. So we need to, and there was also a situation in Fontenoy, which I was involved in. And there was concession again. Anyway, but I think that should raise the issue for how we go about defending our beach. We cannot continue to mine the beach. We cannot go reclaiming land and also promoting people's right to property and that kind of thing and not deal with the consequences. We have to see all of us needs to be protected in one way or the other by the behavior we do.
Thank you. Thank you, caller. Appreciate your call as always. We do have another caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. Welcome. Let's hear from you.
GT, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Just recovering from a long day yesterday on the parkway.
All right, man. Great to hear that. Great to hear that. Let's hear from you. What's your, of course, let's hear your contribution this morning.
GT, my contribution this morning is like, okay, I get up this morning, I was listening to a radio station. And then there's a regular gentleman who usually call your program. I think he asked you for 1 hour, one time on the program too. And he was playing a tape concerning Sister Gloria and concerning the 150. And I think it's about time this gentleman give it up because GT, this gentleman, he tried the same thing with Claudette when Claudette and him used to be on a program with Godfrey. And he couldn't get through Claudette. All right, and then he tried the same thing with Sister Delma Thomas in the same position as Sister Gloria Thomas holding now. And now,
so primarily, what's the problem you having if by the gentleman continuing to play that?
Okay, the problem I'm having is when this guy don't get his way, he go after people. You understand? And he don't give it up. You know what I mean? And a perfect example, look how he talk about with the Constitution, we have to stop swearing to the Queen and the King. And now when the law is passed, he against the same thing that he thinks. So sometimes I think this gentleman is very confused. You understand? And then when he does get his way, he go after certain people. You know what I mean? So I just bring in the awareness that
all right.
People are looking out for this guy.
But just as the way you have just as you have the option of expressing your views, someone else have the option of doing the same too. You know that.
I have no problem with that, but see, when people want their way and they don't get their way, you understand what I'm saying? He make very good contribution. I like listening to him sometimes, but now he pushed me and a lot of people away.
All right.
You
too, man. Have all the best and get some rest. All the best. All right. We do, of course, have time to maybe entertain one final caller if it comes. Yes, there's a caller. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Mr. Telesford. Call name, don't afraid. It's me, Jack Rollo. But here it is, Mr. Telesford. Pardon, just a moment. Mr. Telesford, the fact is, the voice we're hearing there is a minister, a senator within the parliament of the country making a statement in the debate of the 2023 budget with full authority to be within the government. And she made a promise which she did not fulfill only a month after. And for the year 2023, the people who she had promised to receive this money, a minister, did not receive it. $1,800, you see. And I'm calling her to pay it because she has to do it. They both are fulfilling the debts and the promises. They're very proud on that. That is my point. And to this goodly gentleman, he didn't call me, but it was me talking about. Listen, my dear brother. I have a right to get up on this horn and blow it whenever I my goo-goo-zella when I want. You hear what I tell you? And you so can't cancel me. You don't have the capacity, so I urge you to just shut your cut. Thank you very much, Mr. Telesford. Have a nice day, will you, sir?
Thank you, sir. Have a good day yourself. Folks, that's how we take a wrap for today's edition of To The Point. I want to thank all who contributed towards today's edition of To The Point. Those who called in, those who sat at home and you listen, those who send their messages via the WhatsApp, etc. Thank you so much. Join me again tomorrow. We do have another edition of To The Point. Until then, folks, have a good one. That's why I say goodbye.